Hello everyone, welcome back to Maverick Mods. For the last few weeks I've been focusing on the 71 Firebird, the portion of the mock-up phase which involves test fitting all the body panels, finalizing all the gaps. That started off with the deck lid, that then progressed to the doors, and now we have to focus on the front of the car. Last week I worked on the fenders, getting kind of the fenders repaired to the point where they could go back on the car for fitment. But that's only part of the formula here, because you can't fit the fenders kind of by themselves. You have to fit the hood as well, and the front bumper also. That is, you know, the front clip that all fits together, and once you get that done, then you can kind of go back to the front edges of the doors and do some final test fitting there. So basically from the back of the doors forward, everything is fluid and in motion until you get everything just right, and then you can lock it in. And then I ran into a problem, and I know you guys have seen this. It's been on the car a few times. It's sitting right over here now, forlorn in its final resting place, what seems like its final resting place. The car came with two hoods. We got the original factory steel hood, and we also got this formula hood. And the formula hood was not original to the car. I mean, the car was basically a Firebird Esprit, so it didn't have all of the fancy gizmos, attachments, etc. with it. But the previous owner of the Firebird had somehow or another acquired this formula hood, and we figured, hey, that looks pretty good, we're going to try and use it. Things kind of went downhill from there. So let's cue into kind of where I started and kind of see how things went from there. As you can see, fender's back on. It's aligned as close as I'm going to be able to get it. Next piece of the puzzle is the hood. And the hood comes into play because the fenders are going to key off the hood, the bumper's going to key off the hood, and everything kind of squares up with the hood because you can't really change the shape of the hood. So I just got it on. It's very gross, not adjusted yet. I did notice right away that the back of the hood is way too low, and the hinges are loose right now at the attachment to the fenders. So let me go in and raise those a little bit at a time. Let's see what that did. Do the same to the other side. All right, start off with that and see what that does. So here's the conundrum. We've got the formula hood aligned, not final aligned, but it's close aligned, and it doesn't fit well. I'm pretty good on my gaps here. I'm good on my gaps here. We're basically flush at this point. The hood does need to come back just a little bit, but it's, you know, it starts high here and just keeps going on this side. Over on the other side, I'm high here and it won't go down. And I'll raise the hood and show you why. But then it starts dropping right here. And when the hood is down on this side, I've got a fairly significant drop in the hood versus the fender. And on this side, not as bad, but a little bit. But the hood is also twisted, because you can see when I'm even here, I'm really high over here. And this is kind of bizarre. So one of the things that's causing this, which I'm going to try and fix right now to see if that'll help any. The driver's side fender does not have this, but the passenger side fender has a little hump here on the fender itself. And you can see from the witness mark that it's interfering with the bottom of the hood itself. So this poses a question. This is a factory hood. Why would a factory hood not fit because of that? And that I don't know. And so the next question is, if we can make this hood work, and that's a big if, I'm gonna have to shave that little hump off. But is that gonna affect something else? Don't know. We'll see. Well, I went all ape. I can always fix this as necessary to try and make a little bit more room to give that hood a chance to close properly. So let's give it a try. With the hood down, okay. Now gaps are good. I've got an even more pronounced dip in the hood here, and up here there's no way to bring this. I've got the hinge adjusted as low as I can. There's no way to bring this back edge of the hood down, but it is flush here. It's not hitting anymore. On the driver's side, I'm basically good on the back of the hood. The hood just doesn't match. It's twisted. So I'm going to try something else, and let's take a look and see how this does. I'm going to put the original hood back on this car, the metal hood, and see how it fits. I went ahead and cleaned up the original hood that came with the car. It cleaned up fairly well. It's got some issues on top that are fixable, but it fits. I mean, the gaps are, well, I need to work on them a little bit, but they're mostly good, both sides. Like I said, this is still fender adjustment time here. Everything fits in the rear corners, all the way down the sides of the hood. I fit down here, fit at the front. It feels really good all along here, and basically this hood fits. The fiberglass hood is twisted. I don't know why or how. So here's an idea out of left field, and you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but then again, you probably thought I was nuts from the first day you watched my videos. So I'm kind of holding true to course. We like the formula hood, but these are not available. Nobody makes a reproduction of this. This thing requires a ton of work, if it's even possible, to get that twist and flex out of it, and there's no guarantee that once the twist and flex is out, will it stay. So here's my idea. What if I cut the scoops out of this hood, both sides? Of course, I would measure, make a grid, make sure everything's fine. Cut the scoops out of this hood and bond them to the original metal hood. That way we've got the looks of the formula without a hood that doesn't fit. Put down the comments. Tell me what you guys think. I know it's kind of a little bit out of left field, but that's the best solution I can think of, and still keep that look that we're looking for. Well, that's going to do it for this week, guys. I know there's not really any work involved, but the question, what is going on with this light? Okay, before I get into anything, I got to brag a little bit. I'm standing outside. It's the end of January, and I'm almost sweating. For you guys down in Florida, you're saying, what's the big deal? For those of you shivering up north, haha. Anyway, let's get back to where I was. So this is kind of where we're at. The original hood fits. The formula hood doesn't. I can do fiberglass work. I know what it takes to make the formula hood fit. The problem with that is it is a ton of work on top of the work that hood already needs cosmetically, and it needs a ton of cosmetic work as well. The other downside to doing all that fiberglass work, because now you're actually going in and cutting and bending and reshaping and reglassing the actual frame structure of the underside of the hood. When that's all done, there's still no guarantee that even if you get the shape right initially, put it through a couple of heat cycles and it may not stay. And that's just kind of the nature of, I mean, I work with, I have worked with fiberglasses. I now work a lot with epoxies. That's kind of the nature of that material. It's very temperature sensitive, and if you don't have the right temperatures when you start, then things can change when the temperature. It's a whole big temperature thing. It all has to do with physics and Newton and Einstein and those guys. Anyway, so the long and short of it is, I know it seems kind of like a crazy idea bonding the formula scoops onto this steel hood. I know that I'm desecrating, you know, a factory hood that's irreplaceable, but if the hood is tweaked, twisted, and in otherwise unusable, it's got to be replaced. Comment down below. I really want to know what you guys think about my idea of cutting up the formula hood and bonding the scoops onto the steel hood. This video is about as close to real time as I ever get. As you can see, I haven't actually done anything yet. So let me know. I'm curious to know if I'm out of left field, if I'm nuts. Well, we know I'm nuts. But if I'm really out in left field, or if anybody out there has an idea, I'm game. You know, one way or another, we want to keep the scoops. So they're going to go on this car one way or another. Certainly appreciate everybody watching. Thanks a bunch for all you guys tuning in every week. If you like this video, think about subscribing. Maybe give me a thumbs up. Certainly would appreciate it. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Have a great day.